The main focus of the exhibition is the garden I have designed, which we have made a movie of, but which actually doesn't exist yet, but hopefully will get built one day. I'm an architect by training, but I have always been interested in doing sculpture. And when I did the first sculptures that are included in the garden, that was back in the mid-70s, a long time ago. Then it took about 35 years of doing different sculptures and so on. And then one day the concept for the garden came together. If you go back and look, the garden has always been a kind of important mediator between man and nature. This garden that has come together is a proposed sacred garden for the Anthropocene era. And the Anthropocene era is considered the era when man is having more impact on the earth and nature than ever before, and not a very good one, sadly. So we have to mend our ways. The garden is it's less than a hectare big, and it's conceived as a symbolic brain, and the sculptures are symbols of life and the sort of phases of life. I've aligned also the garden with the rising and setting sun, so it's east and west, which ties it into the kind of cosmic cycle. A symbolic river runs both into the cave and into the earth, a little like the river Hades in Greek mythology, and it runs all the way out to the sea. So it's a kind of ambiguous river. The sequence of how you move through the garden is very carefully thought out. On the first cross-axis, you have the Romeo and Juliet fountain, and then you have birth, and then you have death. The next sculpture is called Birth. It's out in the middle, and it's a giant egg. That is a kind of symbol which comes actually from the first verse of the Finnish Kalevala, which talks about the creation of the universe. But the egg is also a symbol of birth. To the right of that, as you look towards the sea, is one of the first sculptures I did, which is a wall covered in ivy with a little marble balcony. And on the other side, on the left side of Birth, is a grass cube I have called Et in Arcadia Ego, after Nicolas Poussin's famous painting. And one can see it as a death symbol. And behind it is a big wall of ice, also kind of reversion, a death symbol. I became fascinated with ice when after having graduated from architecture school in the States, my American wife was along, and in the middle of the winter, we took a boat from Denmark to Finland. And the boat went through a channel of ice. And my poor wife thought she was arriving at the North Pole. She was quite worried. And I looked at this and I said, wow, this is amazing, this ice. So I started working with ice. I'm trying to deal with archetypal symbols of life. And, both the Ur-monument and the T-cross have been appropriated by major religions, the Hindus and the Christians, and given very specific meanings. The cross, you think of Jesus Christ and crucifixion and so on, and suffering and all this. I have set out to try to liberate these symbols. The developments over the last few hundred years of scientific and technological progress and the incredible increase in the human population on the earth has all, it's had obviously many benefits, but it also has a terrible destructive side where we are slowly destroying the planet and nature. The background is, of course, that we need to learn to live in harmony with nature again.